Hey, thank you for joining us for episode 8, Fool's Banter Radio. I'm your host, Brad. Joining me are...
El Stevedore.
Stevedore.
Keith.
And no Edwin this week, but instead we're joined by our special guest, our very first guest.
Josh,
how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty great.
I haven't seen you in forever. You've grown up.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Last time I saw you, I think you were like 5 years old.
Hold on.
So you've grown quite a bit.
What? Yeah.
Quick.
What?
How you doing, Keith?
Oh, there you go. How you doing,
Pretty
Keith?
good.
Pretty good. There it is. Gotta have that, man.
Yeah, I was like, 12 years ago?
Something like that. More than that, probably.
I'm 17, so...
Okay. I don't know maths.
Good Lord.
Something like that. But yeah, Edwin didn't join us again. He keeps getting lost. I think he's lost in the desert this time.
With his pappies.
Yeah, but instead we got Josh. You excited? You were our very first guest.
I'm a good replacement. Don't worry about it.
All right, cool. All right, so how's everyone been doing? What have you guys been doing? Start with you, Steve.
Oh, you know.
You know. I don't know. Tell me about it.
Mammy and pappies went.
Oh, he's getting all sentimental.
No. They went camping, so I've been taking care of 3 horrible dogs every day.
Dogs.
One dog that has to have like 20 pills and eardrops 2 times a day.
What the hell?
And then another dog that just doesn't listen and just chews up everything he sees. And then the third dog who just wants to love you.
Sounds like a steep learning curve.
No, it's all right.
Sounds like if you combine the 3, it would fit Keith's description.
Keith,
And that's how you know he's my brother.
Keith, you are 3 terrible dogs.
I think
Cool. You've been playing anything?
Yeah.
We've been playing. I know you and I.
Minecraft.
You and I started that.
Minecraft.
What is it? The Sky Forge thing.
Sky Factory.
Sky Factory.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We played it for a little bit, and then Steve took off on me.
I told him I wasn't
going
to play, and then I couldn't help but play.
Yeah, and then
like 10
you get
hours
back,
ahead.
and you just have so
I
much
get back,
done.
and he already beat the world.
Yeah. Oh
No.
my gosh.
He finished the world. He finished the game.
I haven't made any world.
No such thing. No such thing. It's Minecraft. You never finish.
Nah, you finished.
I feel like the way Sky Factory is set up, it can get to a point where you're just like, well, I don't really have much left to do.
Yeah, I agree. Sky Factory is kind of crazy.
He's just gonna build a giant ass chest the size of a house and shit.
I did. The biggest thing we now own is the chest with all of our stuff in it.
What about the smeltery?
The
Smeltery?
I still haven't built.
You still haven't built a
yet.
smeltery?
Then you haven't even
Come
started.
on.
You haven't even started.
But I've played so many other mod packs with Tinker's Construct in it, and I've made the god tools from Tinker's Construct 1,000,000 times. So I'm
Well,
just like,
and
I
it's
have
not
no
and it's
interest
not
in
even
it.
necessary on Sky Factory.
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
There's too many mods on Minecraft.
Nah, there's
way
never,
too many.
there's not
Have you
enough.
made the
The only one I really played, my buddy and I played on a really awesome Tekkit server.
Really?
Have you found?
And
Like a
there
regular
was quite a few people on it, and we literally had warring factions.
That's
it was,
intense.
It
I've
was,
never
it
really
was
gotten
pretty
to that.
crazy. Like there was, because most of your stuff was protected because you'd buy property and everything.
That's cool.
And your guild would pay for it. Like, you'd collect money and you'd set up, like, continuing payments for it over time and everything.
Yeah.
But there was griefing going on the outskirts of people's property.
So it's just like a giant chasm to bedrock on the outskirts of everybody's property.
No, no one really got that intense, but, I mean...
I would have.
There was this one faction that when we got there, it started, and it grew to be just about the largest one. But the second largest one, which had a wall surrounding it, they built a like giant tower next to it so they could look in and see what they were doing and everything. And they got all pissed. So my buddy and I, we started our own, and then we quickly found out how to like get mass amounts of money super quick and like everything. So we were super beast, and they didn't like that, so they started trying to attack us and everything. But
that's when you just make a trap of, because it was like original Tekkit, right?
yeah,
That's when you set up with a nuclear reactor and just let it fail as they get there, because those things have the biggest
Oh my
explosive
God.
radius. It took out like a couple thousand blocks.
Just take out all your
Destroyed
land
them.
and be like, "Whoa, I killed them. I guess I succeeded." Yeah,
I killed them and everyone else on the server.
and myself.
It was
Good
pretty
job.
wild. There was lots of politics going on. We were like taking some of their members and
Weird. I
stuff.
couldn't
Like that.
imagine Tekkit in like a
Well,
MMO.
I mean, I guess in like theory, wouldn't you be able to build up a tower next to their wall and just like shoot TNT over the tower?
We were more of a passive.
But with the other people, couldn't they do
group,
that? I'd
They
do
they
that.
were just
That's the
like
kind of thing
writing
that I would do.
words around our
Your
TNT base and everything.
Oh god.
That's weird.
But yeah, we can move on from that. What about you, Keith? What have you been doing?
Video gaming it up, just
Like, what kind of games, man? What besides your main game for this week have you been playing? I know you've been playing other games.
I've been playing around mainly with the server or the store on PlayStation. Found out that there was a lot of E3 things.
Sales.
I can
Nice.
I can tell you that Keith has been playing a lot of Minecraft with me on the PlayStation. Me and a bunch of friends have a big giant Minecraft world that we're like building a community on and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Lots of Minecraft. Why
Yeah.
everyone plays Minecraft?
Because
still?
you just gotta go back. I mean,
Minecraft's gotta go back.
It's
only
relaxing
Yeah,
too. It's
every now and then, you do jump in some Minecraft and everything.
and then you just get stuck on stupid, and that's just it. That's your life, is what it bases around.
I basically when I start playing Minecraft, it's like I'm getting like too angry playing my video games because I always play these competitive shooters and competitive games. Like they're all competitive and
Yeah.
You don't play any single player games, do you?
But he,
not really. I can't play like
yeah.
for very long. Like I go to Skyrim. That's my only single player game.
Oh, dude, you can pretty soon you'll be able to buy Skyrim on your toaster.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
What's the new thing that Skyrim's coming to?
Everything, the toaster.
What?
No, that's part of the E3 news
honestly,
for later,
the-
but
Oh, it's VR. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
Skyrim's
What? We'll get into that.
Yeah,
we'll get into that.
Well, yeah.
When we get to our...
While I'm playing Minecraft with Keith, like, Keith will just join into my chat party that I'm playing with my friend with, and he'll just be, like, super pissed because he's in the middle of playing Destiny, and he's like, dude, I got 1 in 14 on that game. That is such crap. I just need to go play some Minecraft. I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah!
Get in here and punch some blocks.
Keep taking out his aggression on trees.
Yeah, right? I'm gonna
We'll
punch
punch
you,
this
tree.
tree.
I'm gonna punch the next tree.
That's crazy.
I build walls and the creepers can't get in.
This guy, the creepers can't get in.
I hate the creepers that just blow your shit up. You're like, I just built this. Or
Yeah.
Just go tame an ocelot. And you're good.
Yeah.
I haven't found any.
On the way to taming an ocelot, you
Get blown up by a
get blown up
creeper.
by a creeper.
I've been playing, of course, the Path of Exile, Fall of Oriath beta.
Oh yeah, Path of Exile.
Path of Exile,
Huh.
of course.
Sounds to me
as
like
usual.
you keep on going back to Path of Exile,
Oh, that's
huh?
my jam, man.
Giving
but no,
us crap about
I'm not
Minecraft.
gonna talk about it a lot. It's just sweet, man. They haven't released Act 8 for me to try out. But that, rather than having all the different difficulties like Cruel and Merciless, that linear, just main one playthrough is awesome. It's sick. It completely changes the feel. It works good.
Huh.
Yeah, but yeah, we got a sweet show planned for today. Of course, we all got our games for the week, and then we're going to jump over to talking about some E3, and then I got a sweet game planned for us.
Oh,
You guys know nothing
I forgot
about.
that.
Yeah, the game's going to be fun. Got a game.
Yeah, this game is.
And then we'll end with stories as usual, like we usually do. Josh is going to start us off. He's going to get us started on something.
He's saying that I'm going to start.
Hopefully.
We don't really know.
If not, I can get it started. All right, so let's get into our games for the week. Who wants to start?
I can go ahead. and
Yeah,
start.
Steve does.
You guys
Steve.
were all asking me about this earlier.
Yeah.
So what I want to talk about is Call of Duty Zombies, specifically the story. So I was texting you, Brad, and you were telling me, "Oh, every game's different, and yes, all the maps are different, but
And
there's
all the
one...
people are different, too.
No, that's part of what I'm going to talk about. It's one consistent story the whole way through.
Really? There's like an
So-
actual timeline to it all
Yeah,
and
from
everything?
the very first map, which the very first one was
Kino Daredevil.
Yeah, no, Kino der Toten was
5.
not the first one.
No, that was the
Eisendrachen, I
first
think,
good
was the
one.
first one.
Yeah.
No, they were all pretty good. But, so there's the 4 characters. There's the German, the Russian, the American, and the Japanese. And those have all been the same character the whole time. There's just been extra maps like Call of the Dead on the first Black Ops, which was all the actors.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But the original characters were in there. They were just like off camera and telling those characters what to do. But I've been watching a lot of videos on it, and the story is basically that all of this is like all a multiverse. So there's different versions of these 4 original characters. But at the start of Black Ops 3, I think it was... No, the last DLC in number 2, which was called Origins. It's the original 4, and it shows how they all got started with all the zombie stuff. And then all the way through 3, it's all the same characters, and you're actually doing the story and figuring out what's going on.
I didn't like 3 that much, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll actually play through it.
They just released... The whole reason I've been playing is they just released the DLC. It just came out on Xbox and PC, and PlayStation first, obviously. But
Which one's the one where you're driving the bus around?
that was Transit. That was the first one on number 2, and that is... It's part of the main story, because Richthofen, the German guy, the scientist guy, is convincing the 4 people that are in transit to do something for him, which is like a big part of the whole story. And like every single map is connected. And originally when the games first came out, of course, none of this was actually connected. They just, put pieces of crap together.
So
to
they
make
had
the
to put a story together.
They put the story
from
together,
the
in the third
afterwards.
one. Yeah.
Jeez.
There's like a lot of stuff.
They're like, let's
Slackers.
try to find a way to connect.
But yeah,
these.
it's really cool. It goes to Origins, and then you find out that in Origins that there's this one person, Dr. Monty, who is like the creator of everything. And like throughout all the other ones, this is going back to where they have to put a bunch of shit together. This Dr. Monty character was just somebody you'd hear on like a radio talking, but it turns out that he's like the creator of everything, and that these 4 characters are just trying to do stuff for him to stop the bad guys.
Is Dr. Monty like the guy that yells insta-kill and stuff like that?
No, that's also depending on the map. Most of the time it's Samantha, which is another doctor. There's 3 doctors, basically. There's Dr. Richthofen, which is the one you play, the German. There's Dr. Maxis, which is the one who is like trying from the beginning to like fix all of it. And then there's Dr. Monty, which is basically a god. He just created everything.
Oh.
Yeah, crazy. So Richthofen and his group, they go to Origins first, and then there's Samantha, which is Maxis' daughter, who is the one who started all the zombies, basically. Because there's this element, and they did experiments on her, started zombies, crazy shit. It's way too complicated to go into super detail.
So, I mean, those games, you really got to put a lot of time and get far to actually find any of that.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
but-
None of that is surface.
But
All
at
of that
the
you
same,
have to dig for.
but at the same time, and this is what I really like about a whole lot of things, and that goes with movies and everything. How not only do they have to be telling a story that links to everything else, but they still have to make it good for the first experience that people have.
Yeah,
with it.
just the gameplay, which is great because you can just go in there and
Yeah,
play
and
normally.
I could play it over and over and over for like 13 hours, and I'll still be playing it actively and getting down on it.
Yeah, it's so the normal storyline goes is like Origins, which was the last DLC in 2, and then it goes to The Giant, which is a remake of a really old map where Richthofen, the German, finds himself and kills himself and gets his own soul from the one he just killed and puts it in this thing called the Summoning Key, which is another like one-off map where some other characters had to collect the Summoning Key, which was the whole Easter egg of that map. And then after that, it goes to the American. He has to find himself, kill himself, get his soul. So there's like these 6 maps. There's a start where you find out what happened, and then there's the 4 for each of the main characters in the last one, where all of their souls are already in the Summoning Key. You have to use that to beat what they call the Shadow Man, which is basically the evil version of Dr. Monty, who's trying to make the world evil while Dr. Monty's trying to make a perfect world. And it's just like...
Making the world evil is turning them all into zombies and killing everybody.
Yes, basically. Well, actually it's not... It's weird because the zombies are kind of like a side thing that just happened to be there. And then... I know, this none of this makes sense. It's so dumb. But...
Like, look at this beautiful story. There's all kinds of weird, crazy things going on. Oh, yeah, and there's zombies, too.
Exactly.
Even though that's the entire plot of what you're actually playing through is the zombies.
Exactly. But basically, the whole thing ends...
Never mind that it's called zombies, you know.
Everybody's so
Not
angry because the
Dr.
way...
Frickin'.
Richthofen.
Whatever, same shit.
Dr. German name.
Dr. German. But basically, everybody's pissed off with the ending right now because all it does is reset them back to Origins, the first map, and you find out it's just an infinite loop of infinite multiverses, and everything's just going over and over and over again. And
That's
everybody's
not
like,
the
that's
end.
a shitty ending.
That's not the end.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. That's not really the end. That
It's
there's
not.
like some big secret ultimate Easter egg for everything, but nobody's found it yet, and it's been out for like 6 months on the PlayStation. So
That's cool.
I
Well,
know
speaking of endings, you said, Josh, your game of the week, you beat Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So without spoiling anything, tell us the sum of the game.
You can't really spoil anything with that game.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Wait,
I played through it
that's
and
true.
beat it as well, so.
I'm guessing the plot of the Zelda game is you go kill Ganondorf.
Yeah. Except he isn't.
Am I right?
Yeah.
It's not Ganondorf. 'cause
It's
that's
not
a
even
certain-
Ganondorf in this
that's
one.
a certain
It's-
iteration.
Okay,
of
sorry,
Ganon,
Ganon. It's same garbage.
Yeah, the evil.
He's called
Yeah.
Calamity Ganon.
Yeah.
in this
Calamity
one, yeah.
Ganon,
And he like
as
spread-
opposed to
Ganondorf. or
all the
this
other
Ganon.
Ganons.
But yeah, I mean, you played
Big
through
G.
what was it, Twilight Princess or something?
Twilight
I never
Princess. That
played
was my
that one.
favorite Zelda.
I never beat Twilight Princess, but I've played through several
Oh,
Zelda
way to
games.
go, Keith! Party foul.
Party foul.
But Breath of the
Fuck, just
Wild,
leave it.
I'm kind of
Very different from
I'm
a lot of the
loving
other
it
Zelda games.
because one of the biggest things about the Zelda games was you weren't able to jump unless you had the Roc's Feather. Now you can just jump and climb everything.
Yes,
You're just like, oh, big giant mountain. Let's just go climb it.
Well, you could backflip everywhere, so
I
Yeah,
suppose.
you can do that. You can do
Side
that now.
jump.
You can still
But-
backflip.
Like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's cool because I know I mentioned before when I was playing Mafia 3, one of the biggest things that bugged me was that there was no goddamn jump button.
Yeah, right? And now you finally have it, even though he only jumps like 6 inches off the ground.
That's fine.
It's more realistic.
All you have to do is freeze a boulder or a log and hit it a bunch of times to stand on it, right?
That's really hard to do,
That's
actually.
it's funny. I've seen
I've
a
been trying to
video.
do that, and I have not succeeded once yet.
how many hours do you have into the game?
I think I have I have no idea, honestly.
But
because
you have-
because what I had to do is I was playing it on another person's console, and then I started playing it on my own afterwards. So I
okay.
had to restart halfway through
Well,
it.
here's a better one than how many hours. How many shrines have you done?
60-ish.
60? Okay, so you'd probably have played about as long as I have and beat it about the same time. Did you know you can beat that game in about 10 minutes?
I could definitely see it.
You don't have to do any of the special stuff.
The
You can
boss-
just
in the
go
back
fight the
door.
last
Well,
boss.
and the boss isn't even that hard.
Yeah, you
Spoiler,
can,
but
yeah,
this
the
boss
last
isn't-
boss is one of the easiest bosses in the game for sure. But
you just go in Ganon's back door.
no, you go in the front door. You just fucking walk in there.
Yeah,
if
you
know
literally
where to
walk
go.
in. You're like, okay, fuck all you
I
guardians.
saw what you were talking about, where you can freeze the thing and fly. I saw somebody from the second you get control of the character, he walks over to a boulder, picks up an axe, freezes it, hits it, lands on the first thing that you have to do, and then does the same thing again to get to Ganon. He beat the game in 10 minutes.
By doing that,
Yeah. He just flew across the map twice and got to the last boss, and then just beat the last boss
See,
with one.
And
the
I really
shittiest weapon
like
in the
that,
game.
honestly, because all these speed runs are for the old Legend of Zelda games are literally just 100% breaking the game.
Yeah,
100% breaking the game. And on this one, it's not necessary because all you have to do is jump on a rock and fly, and that's it.
nice.
But
It kind of kills the point of trying to do a speed run.
there's a couple things about Breath of the Wild that are I really like the game. How there's major exploration and the map is farther than the eye can see, and
Yeah.
there's so much. I was saying, I've played through about 60 shrines, which there's 120 shrines in the game, so that's about half the shrines. And I am still finding new landmarks throughout the land and stuff like that. And my biggest thing about the game that I kind of don't like, actually, is it doesn't have very much basis around the Master Sword and the Triforce.
Yeah.
It's kind of hidden throughout the game. And it's not necessary to
And
get
then
the Master
can't you
Sword.
break the Master Sword?
Yeah,
but
the Master
but you
Sword
can repair it,
runs
right?
out of energy,
Yeah, it's
and then it
very
just pops
unique.
back up in your inventory.
It's the only weapon that is not permanently broken. Everything else, you pick up this weapon that does more damage than anything you've ever seen.
but
and
it
you're
breaks in 6 hits.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill this one thing, and then it's gone, and I'm sad. Yeah, the Master Sword is really weird because you can beat it in 10 minutes before you even basically know the Master Sword exists. Like it's one of the, in my opinion, way more missable than like anything else in the game.
Yeah, and like when you're trying to get to the Master Sword, it's infuriating when you don't know what the heck to do because it just keeps on warping you back to the start.
I had to look it up. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to figure this out by myself.
Right.
I had to look up how to get to it.
You follow the music through the forest.
Well, it's not even
It's
music.
not music this time.
It's kind of. I mean, this is a spoiler, but for
I
all
was
the
just
people
talking
watching
about, like,
that
the
haven't
Kyrie
played this,
song.
you guys are welcome. But what you do is you pick up a torch and you have to follow the sparks
where
that
the
are coming
embers are
off of the
going.
torch, and that's like such an easy thing to miss. Like super
exactly.
simple to
I
miss.
used a torch once in the game before that, so I was like, a torch? Who the hell uses a torch?
Why is there just a torch and 2 lanterns here in the middle of a freaking forest?
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then the master, they do, it's kind of like the original, you have to have a certain amount of hearts to actually get the Master Sword to pull it out. But
So yeah,
that's another thing, if you haven't done enough shrines and you don't know that you need that amount of hearts, because when you do a shrine, or not a shrine, it's when you do 3 shrines, you can get like 4 shrines? Okay, when you get 4 shrines, you can either get another heart piece or get another chunk of stamina.
Yeah, it's an extension to your stamina gauge.
Yeah, and me, when I first started going, I'm like, nothing but stamina for the first 50 gems that I got.
Yeah, right.
And then I was like, oh, I want the Master
Who was
Sword,
it
and now
who
I
did
have to do
that?
every other one before I can get the Master Sword.
Well, there's I'll explain this to you at another point, but there's a place in that game to where you can transfer your stamina gauges into hearts.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's interesting. You have to pay 20 rupees for it or something like that, but it's like a loaning system where it literally takes a heart from you and gives you 100 rupees, and then you got to pay 120 rupees to get your heart back.
okay.
Or stamina gauge, I suppose, but
That's pretty cool.
Nice. So, speaking of stamina, Keith, is your game CrossFit all about stamina?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm
Cross
sorry.
out.
Cross out. Keith's game is cross out. I thought it was CrossFit.
Yeah, get buff.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
So
cool.
tell me about cross
Yeah,
out.
I've
I've
seen-
never even
Okay.
heard of it.
I've seen you playing this game a lot, and you just kind of disappear. So I'm kind of curious as well.
Well, it is, as you guys know, as he knows, it's a Mad Max style.
I've never played the game. I don't even know
Oh,
what the
never
heck
mind.
you're
I do
talking
know
about.
what this game is.
What
It's
is
Mad Max style, create a car and shoot everybody
Oh,
up.
It's
that
it's an
game.
MMO that's like the Mad Max vehicles, only just the vehicles. There's no jumping out and
So,
shooting stuff. At least I don't think there is.
the
Go ahead
game
and-
I
go
used
ahead
to
and
play
explain.
at the public library,
I don't remember.
where you
what you're talking
customize your cars and you destroy other ones. It's
You
like
have
Twisted
machine-
Metal, but with car customization.
That's basically what this
You
seems like.
literally,
It's similar, yeah.
you have multiple different cabs. You have, you start off as one faction, and you could start off as the other ones too. But there's 7 to 8 factions, and you can level each one of them up. I just started with the first one. I'm not even past level 10 yet.
Gotta get
But-
on that, Keith.
But each one gives you each level up gives you a set of parts, but they're only the parts to make the physical part of the armor of the car. To get the good parts, like the wheels you really need and the guns, you only get one piece at a time, and it's a hit or miss.
So wait, you don't get wheels to start out with?
Well,
No, you
you
get
just
wheels.
sit there?
You
You
get
get
really
basic-
basic, just kind of scrap random stuff at the beginning where you get a single gun and wheels and just a basic
4
vehicle.
different
But you
wheels.
use those
Yeah.
same basic parts to build some of these too.
What do you
Is that-
salvage them and
Well, you don't
Manufacture new
want
ones?
to. I learned really quick. You don't want to salvage everything. Most things you don't want to unless you really have an extreme amount, because literally you use that part to make another part. And
also it's like crafting recipes?
yes,
I
there's
have a
there's
question.
crafting.
Is there a currency, a scrap currency or something?
There's a currency. You can buy coins in the game, which
And then can you buy parts?
you
with
can
that?
you can't
Yeah,
pay to
but
win.
you have
but-
to.
okay.
Yeah, you have to pay money for it. So the
Free
But
MMO.
you-
I'm like, it's in there somewhere. I'm finding it.
yeah.
So this
From what I've seen from Keith playing this game, is it's what happens is they literally drop you into this battlefield with all your teammates and all of these people. And from what I was watching Keith, he'd drive out there and then just get blown up by a cannon. The
as
game-
Keith do, getting pushed around by tanks and
Yeah,
stuff.
because he
Well,
just
I found out what that
he
was.
he just drove in there he'd just be like, all right, I'm just gonna go fight some people, and then just get
I
blown
was
up
using
out
the
of
wrong-
nowhere.
If you use the wrong
Using the
cab,
wrong vehicle.
no, the cabs. If they're a certain level, if there's a certain level, they'll take you to that level, and you'll get demolished the whole time. So you have to watch out what parts you put on the car.
So you have to put on like low level parts to get around with low level people.
Yes, or else
okay. So
you just have one part that was way too
So just
strong.
wait until
Yeah.
you have a group of high level parts, huh? And then you can
That's
go take
interesting.
on high
So
level
that's the
people.
way. So it is kind of balanced in a way. Like that's what I was gonna get at. I was gonna say that the game seems like extremely unbalanced to me for the people that can just pay to win, and like these people that are just jumping into it and just get immediately
The
exploded.
guy's got freaking.
There's another way to get coins though, because they do have a trade system, kind of like the old Diablo 3 system. But like you just
a
put them in
real money
auction.
house.
They don't. I don't think they have the real money part, but they have the where you can literally get those coins through selling your
for parts. So
Yes.
just an auction
Parts or
house.
scrap.
Okay,
You can
so
sell
if
your
you
scrap,
buy,
too.
so if you get enough of like those coins, you can go in there and buy a bunch of cool stuff too.
Yeah, so it's fair enough. It's just it's really hard start for people.
Well, I
that
mean,
aren't paying
the game
money.
wasn't really like explained. I guess really.
So where'd this game come from? Like,
It's a PlayStation.
Is it-
It's on PlayStation. I hear it's on the
That's
computer.
on
People,
Xbox as well.
yeah, it's
did it just like come out a couple days ago or something?
it's
Is it,
I think it's been around
is it a
think
early
it's somewhat
early
recent.
access or is it full
I
release?
think it's like within the last couple months.
I mean, it's an MMO technically. So are those ever considered early access?
so it's in beta,
But
open
they're-
beta.
yeah, that's more sounds more like an
it's
open
like,
beta.
it's kind of like a lot of the newer open things where they're gonna keep it open.
Okay, free to play.
Yeah.
Well,
it's gonna be free to play.
so
I'll have to watch some videos
microtransactions.
about it. Or
So
At least as
if
far
I
as I
was
can
to
tell.
explain like how the game works from just what I've seen from Keith playing it, is it like gives you this like grid and it's like so high and so wide and like a square or something like that, and you get all these parts throughout the game and you just kind of create vehicles with these parts, and you can make it so specific towards exactly what you want. Like you can make some big giant massive tank
like
thing,
Lego
or you can
races.
make like a car that's like 2 blocks by 2 blocks with
With a bunch
wheels
of
on
guns.
it and like a bunch of guns strapped all over it, and you just drive in there really fast and just shoot people with a bunch of guns.
There you go.
As long as you have the power, because that's one thing. That's one reason why I went with the high-powered cabin, because it gave me 9 power versus 7. I was
And
like,
you got blown the
you had
fuck
less
up.
power.
Yep. Literally just kept on
Keith,
getting
with
blown
great power comes great responsibility or
I-
destruction.
up, or just not jumping into 5 people and getting blown up, you know?
That's cool, man.
yeah, all those fuckers had big armor and big guns. The motherfucker.
Sounds pretty brutal.
What about you, Brad? What's up with
This
this?
is like
what about
my
that?
game, Brutal Legends.
terrible pun.
Oh, I love me terrible
It's
puns.
quite a legendary game, you
Oh,
might
I
say.
had to get back to this game because this game I feel is super underrated.
Yeah.
Brutal Legends. Have you played it?
Nah, it's overrated.
No, you haven't played
Yes,
it.
I have actually.
Have you beat it?
No, but I played it for
No,
a couple hours.
okay.
And I didn't play it.
I hardly hear of anybody playing this game, and I thought it's one of those games where you wish you could erase your memory and go back and experience the whole thing again. Like, just because the story was
Yeah,
awesome.
the story is so deep. I haven't seen this game
it's-
for years.
to
so
me-
this is interesting.
It also came with a huge twist, gameplay wise. Like, it completely changed genres on me. It started out
yeah.
as kind of, just a hack and slash. The best thing I can compare it to is kind of like a God of War-esque game, where you're just destroying people. But halfway through the game, turns out it's a real-time strategy. Who'd have thunk it?
How so?
So basically, through the story, you're going around and you're doing these quests and you're saving, like groupies and like band members and everything. And then you build up this army, and then you get into these epic battles with other bands. And it's a real-time strategy for there. You, like, spawn units of, like, headbangers and, like, groupie girls, and they all have, like, their special powers, and you command them to go attack people's forts and stuff like that.
Do you like go
And
with them? To it?
stages.
Do you like?
Yeah,
lead
you go
the-
with them. So every unit, can attack on their own and they whoop ass. But you can go in there and, like, interact with them so that you're controlling them at the same time. Like the headbangers, if you interact with them, they'll form a circle around you, and as you're running around, they're like banging their heads on everything. It's just destroying
It's
everything.
like a mosh pit type thing.
Or the girl groupies, I forget their name and everything. It's been a long time since I played it, but you'll like pick them up and put them on your shoulders, and they have guns, so you can just walk around blasting people.
I remember that.
And then like you have that, but you also, it's this huge open world that you can explore and everything. You'll like free these statues that unlock super awesome metal songs that you can play in your hot rod.
Wasn't
that you
there
can
a car
also
that,
upgrade.
like, talked or something.
Yeah, well, the car is badass and everything. You have two weapons. You have your guitar, which you use to like cast spells and stuff, and you have an axe, like a literal axe that you whoop people's ass with. But you'll like play your hot rod song, and your hot rod will come, and you'll drive that thing around. You can upgrade it. And then there's like wild animals, crazy wild animals throughout the land, and if you hunt enough of them, I think it is, you get them as a unit for your real-time strategies.
It's like a familiar or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you can summon them, like the giant mammoths or the highest ones, and you can ride on the top of them and just wreak havoc on a giant mammoth.
Screw the hot rod. I just want to go ride through a fort with a freaking mammoth.
It's crazy. I mean, it's weird. I've never seen a mashup between games like that one I had, where you got like this open world, just hack and slash, beat 'em up game, and then all of a sudden it turns into a real time strategy. And there was online play and everything. You could play other people.
And go fight the other people's forts.
But there was like
strategy?
I think there was 3 factions. You had like the bad evil guy, and then you had like the super dark like shadow chick, and then you had Jack Black, his character, and they all had their own units. They all had different units. But
I don't know. Whenever I saw the game, all I saw was Jack Black running around.
It's Jack Black. It's voiced by Jack Black, and he gets sucked into some awesome rock and roll dimension.
Yeah.
And everything, and he's loving it, and just the comedy throughout the whole thing is awesome as well. Because it's Jack Black. You can't beat Jack Black.
Yeah,
but
not at all.
That's the only reason I wanted to bring it up. I think it's underrated. I think it's worth a play for just about anyone, and it definitely takes a weird turn when all of a sudden you realize it's a real-time strategy as well. So...
You spoiled it for me.
I spoiled it for you. Well, that's not the spoiler. There's some good story twists for you. And
well, good. I'm just going to have to play it then.
I know, man. I recently just sold my copy on PlayStation 3.
Well, dang. I was about to ask to borrow it from you, so... Yeah. So much
See, you're telling everybody to get this game, and then you don't even have it anymore.
But speaking of getting games... E3, man. E3 happened, and I know nothing about it, so you guys are going to have to tell me.
You know nothing, Brad.
Of this. I know nothing of E3.
I don't know.
You know nothing, Brad Snow.
I know nothing, Brad Snow.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to start off with what we were talking about. Skyrim on the toaster.
Skyrim on the toaster.
So
quit playing. Literally a toaster.
Skyrim on the Switch.
Okay.
You can play as Link.
Yeah, it's awesome and like a Breath of the
That's
Wild
a mod,
skin.
man.
No, that's just how it is on the Switch.
That's a popular Skyrim mod,
right?
That I'm pretty sure they put on the
Switch. They just implemented it. Yeah, they're like, sweet.
This is basically all of what Bethesda's conference was Skyrim on the Switch, Skyrim on the PlayStation VR, which looked really bad,
as well as Fallout.
Really bad.
Fallout 4 on the VR.
I did not see Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 was on the VR, and it looked good to me.
But the Skyrim one looked really bad.
You have to take into account is that
the VR animations.
I was expecting
wonky.
you to say badass, not bad.
So with VR, if you're watching a demo video of it, you have to take into account that it's going to look and feel very different when you're actually in the VR headset.
Yeah, but how many
it's going to look awful by the perspective
VR,
of if you're looking at it on a screen. But if you're actually surrounded by it and your movements are what's going on with the guns and weapons in the game, then it's very different.
Fallout, you got the guns.
Yeah.
But that was their entire conference. They're just like Skyrim 2 more times.
So were you messing around about the toaster or what?
I'm just saying they're putting Skyrim on everything.
They're going to put Skyrim on everything.
Get it? Make something new.
Skyrim's just going to turn
Skyrim.
Besides the failed ESO.
That's fine.
I hate it.
I can play.
I hate
I can play
it's a good
Skyrim
game
on my phone with
another name.
Exactly. You get
Moonlight
Skyrim on
thing.
your phone. You should get one of the toasters with a screen on it, and then send up Moonlight to your toaster, and then you can play Skyrim on your toaster. I'm sure somebody's done it already.
Moonlight's awesome, man.
I'd do it. I like toast.
Yeah. So that was Bethesda's conference.
So
it's like Skyrim, more Skyrim.
So what else about E3? You guys were talking about some cross-platform.
Yeah, okay, so one of the big things that Xbox announced during this was they are going to be making cross-platform play with Nintendo. and they're going to be connecting the Xbox One and the Nintendo Switch, which is so exciting for me because they've also invited Nintendo or PlayStation to join in with the whole game, and PlayStation's being a little bit like
PlayStation. I don't think PlayStation will ever give in to that.
But I can always cross my fingers and
Yeah.
hope for it because like that I've been waiting my entire life, which isn't that long, but I've been waiting my entire life for freaking them all to just connect together so that this guy can connect with me when I'm playing on my Xbox 360.
Yeah,
that's
he's a
that's
Xbox
what it
guy.
was
I'm
at
a
the
PlayStation
time.
guy. I
Xbox
played
360 or Xbox One?
Well,
Yeah,
when we were playing the Xbox 360 and the PS3, he would always
gotcha.
refuse to play the Xbox 360 because he had a
That's-
PS3.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to actually have a possibility of us being able to play it together. And the first game that they're connecting the Xbox One and the Switch with is, drumroll,
Skyrim?
Minecraft?
Minecraft.
Also going to be connected with PC.
See, that I can
Really?
see
Yes.
happening because...
What?
Yes, that's what I'm most excited about.
Oh, is it like the Windows 10
I think
Minecraft?
it's going to be the Windows 10, but to be fair, I think people are already modding the Windows 10 version,
So
you can have
And-
essentially maybe.
And there's another
Sky-
game that they're going to be making cross-platform with it soon, and that's Rocket League. Rocket League is going to be cross-platform between the two consoles as well. So it's like...
Come on, we have Rocket League.
Now,
Fucking, gotta get it on
now
PlayStation.
Minecraft I can see between the Xbox One and the Switch because that game graphically doesn't require all that
Oh,
much.
you don't even know.
But
There's-
okay,
that's
okay.
another thing in
If
Xbox's
you're making
press
Minecraft
conference.
look really good, then yes. But the basic Minecraft, no. The thing that weirds me out is Xbox just announcing finally their Xbox One X, like the most badass console ever at a good price
you know what
too.
we're talking about.
The thing is insane. And then you got the Switch, which is the very bottom of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Very bottom.
I'm still
not
gonna buy
including
one.
last generation.
I'm still gonna buy
You
one.
know, one of the
I
big-
am a Nintendo addict. I love Nintendo.
So you're gonna have, if they release more, you're gonna have cross-platform of Xbox One, these most insanely beautiful games
Yeah,
you've
but
ever
that's all-
seen,
how it
and
looks
you got
is all
the
client
Switch,
side.
which is just
That's true.
garbage on the online
but-
games. Maybe yeah.
But that's one of the big things that they announced with the Xbox One X. They're like, Ultra HD. We got Ultra HD
Dude, you see the
Minecraft.
specs
Yeah.
on that thing?
They got 4K Minecraft.
It's insane, man.
Yeah, you
They
know.
have an Ultra HD texture pack coming out with Minecraft on the Xbox One
What is
X.
that? Just shaders?
No, not even shaders. It's just like a really high resolution texture pack.
It's
It's the same
like
thing, only
the
super high resolution.
it's like the 1024 by 1024
yeah, that's
texture pack.
exactly what it is.
Nice.
You can already get those on the computer, and they're just like, oh, we got
Yeah,
this new Xbox,
I'm a
and
little-
look at how
I'm a
good
little
Minecraft
butthurt
You
works."
can
We're like,
pay
about
money
Minecraft.
to give us good graphics. Yeah.
I'm a little butthurt about the Xbox One X because I bought the Xbox One S
Yeah, just
when it came
recently.
out, the 2 terabyte one, and I was like, okay, this is Xbox's next console. They're not going to have one for a long time, you know. And then, sure enough, I hear about this Project Scorpio. I'm like, son of a
Project
bitch.
Scorpio's been around for a while.
It's
This kind of disappeared.
I
It
know,
was
but
like-
I hadn't
like-
heard of it. And then
Yeah,
all
well,
of a
it kind of
sudden,
disappeared. It was like four E3s ago.
I was so
So,
butthurt, man.
What's up with the Xbox One X? I have like no info about that.
So
Oh, that's what I was gonna bring up the specs.
bring up the specs,
Yeah,
but basically this thing has like, what is it, 10 teraflops?
Teraflops?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me bring it
What was
up.
a teraflop?
You know, it's something like 4 times more powerful than like the PlayStation 4 Pro.
It has
Good.
like
It is
bandwidth limits for like how
It is
fast you
insane.
can download stuff is like 1,000 times faster.
well. Quit talking and get
So
the
what, does it
specs.
Yeah,
have
get them specs up in
solid
here.
state drive built into it already, or
I've already Google searched this.
So
Like-
so read us the specs, Steve.
because that's like one of the things that makes
This
all
thing
these
is
computers go
insane.
faster.
And
Solid state.
we'll get to the price after it.
Another thing.
Go-
As I'm looking
read-
this
read
up,
us. Go ahead.
they announced that original Xbox games are now going to be starting to
Yeah.
become backwards compatible.
Uh-huh, they're doing backwards compatibility, which I am
And they've already got a huge library of backwards compatibility. If you look at one of our videos, Skate 3, we're playing that on the Xbox One because
Oh,
it's
yeah?
backwards compatible. Yeah.
I'm excited to play Spawn and Soul Calibur 2 on the freaking
I'm
Xbox
waiting.
One.
I want to play the Suffering. That game was
I've been
awesome.
waiting for them to get Soul Calibur on the thing. They have Soul Calibur 1 on their backwards
Yeah,
compatibility.
But not 2?
No, not yet.
Really?
I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure.
They need
And
more
Fable.
Soul Caliburs.
Fable's another one of those
Fable?
that I've just been dying to play.
See, Fable, I do have my Alienware laptop, so
I already
got,
have Fable.
you know, we
Do
got
you?
that
Yeah.
on PC
It's
and
on
stuff
there.
like that.
Is it?
They did a remastered.
I don't know. I need to play it though.
That's true. On Xbox 360, they did release the remastered
And I think it's already. I think I
Fable.
have it. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know if
it's
it's downloaded,
backwards
but,
compatibility, I believe.
So it's true 4K. It's not upscale like
Yes,
PS4's.
and it
their
even
PS4's Pro
makes
is.
them 1080p games look nice.
8-core custom AMD CPU. It's clocked at
8-core.
2.3 gigahertz. What if that means anything to you?
Yeah.
12 gigabytes GDDR5 of graphic memory.
Yeah, so 12 gigabytes of DDR5
Yeah.
Yeah.
RAM.
And 6 teraflop GPU.
Yes, the thing is crazy.
6 teraflop. Yeah. The bandwidth cap basically is 326 gigabytes.
Oh, it's nice. See,
pretty
my
good.
Xbox One S is, I think, something like
Instead of
15% faster than the
1
regular
gigabyte,
Xbox One.
But this one.
This one's
And
like
it's
40%
also
faster
this,
than that.
Yes, this is the Xbox One S is also a 4K Blu-ray player.
Yeah, this one comes with that built-in
So
4K
so
Blu-ray
basically,
player.
it was I paid $350 for a new Xbox One S that was also a 4K Blu-ray player, which they almost cost that much anyway.
That's cool.
So I have two Xbox Ones, but this one, tell them the price, Steve,
Ooh, where
for
did it
this
go?
badass thing.
Do you know? Because it's not. I don't think.
Yeah, I believe it's 600. No.
500.
500.
$4.99.
That's as much
It's only
as the
$4.99.
that's how as much as the Xbox One was when it was originally
Yeah.
released.
Yeah.
So I like that they're dropping the price on the older consoles and going, okay, this isn't as
This
active, but
this
we're
is
not
new.
trying
And
to
it's-
just overload you
it's
guys on a
slightly
price.
smaller than even the S's.
I was
It's more slim
it's
than the slim.
where they say it's
huh?
the
Yeah.
smallest console yet, or whatever. Their smallest
Yeah.
console yet.
There's not a whole
It's
lot to say
sleek,
about
man.
Xbox.
It's sleek.
Xbox has always been like big, bulky
the games
console.
that are specifically launching with it is Forza Motorsport 7, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves, and Super Lucky's Tale. Sea of Thieves, I'm excited for. That's another game that I saw at E3. It looked amazing. It's a
want that.
pirate MMO.
It's a pirate
You get treasure maps. You go find treasures.
You know they have.
Really?
You know they
That
have
sounds
a
fun.
ton of pirate games from
That
back
sounds
in the
real
day
fun.
that you
But
can
this
go
is
back and
a
play.
good looking.
Yeah,
pirate
this is a
MMO.
4K pirate
4K
game.
pirate MMO
Ooh.
on the console.
Man,
Is
I'd like to see, Neverwinter is on the Xbox. It would be nice to see
it's-
an
I
HD,
hate Neverwinter.
a higher,
Oh, it's so boring.
a better
I've
looking
played that
version of
recently.
Neverwinter on the Xbox.
I hope
'Cause
they have it
that's-
where you're sliding down the mast and stuff.
Yeah.
well,
Well, there's 2 pirate MMOs coming out.
When are they gonna? Yeah.
so what else is happening on E3?
Far Cry 5 gameplay looks dope because it's
Yeah.
modern. I'm tired
So,
of all they're going.
Who's
like,
the
weird
main
shit.
character? Is it a male or female?
It's a male.
I had a suspicion that it might be a female.
I think it's a male.
Is it okay?
From what the gameplay showed, it definitely was a male. But yeah, you got like a little dog companion. None of this crazy animal spirit shit. You're not sending tigers in and stuff like that.
Oh, come
It's
on.
very
That's
it's
fun,
modern
though.
day in like Montana, like cult run town.
Yeah. See, that's Far Cry is, like I said, my wife and I's game.
I'm super
I'll sit
excited
and play
for Far
that
Cry
while
5.
she watched. We got 100% on Far Cry Primal.
What other games? They
Got
showed
everything
more
in it.
gameplay for a game.
None
None of you guys have probably heard of.
I want to play it, but I can't.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah, Far Cry
No,
Primal
me
sucks.
and you
My
have
wife's
different views
favorite.
on that. I think me and him are more on the same page.
That game was awesome because it was a nice, refreshing change
Just
for
don't
the
talk to me
Far
about
Cry
it.
series. It was fun just doing a whole melee
What else was there?
stealth kills and stuff.
They showed a bunch of Destiny 2 gameplay, which I didn't watch any of it.
I should have been there for that.
What else, man? Path of Exile, Fall of Oriath was
That
there.
wasn't. That
They
wasn't
showed.
there.
They showed act. Yeah, it was at E3. They showed act.
It wasn't in any. It
Act
was
8.
just. It must have just been their own booth.
I watched. They were interviewed by like IGN.
Yeah,
and
so they just had their
GameSpot
own
and stuff
booth.
like that.
Booth. They didn't have a. It wasn't part
Well,
of.
I saw them on a stage.
Announcement.
I saw them on a stage doing gameplay.
Some of the PlayStation games. There's a new Uncharted with a female main character now.
Never liked
there's
the
a
Uncharted
zombie
games.
game for
I've never really
PlayStation.
gotten into them. Like, I always try to, but then I just stop early on.
I think I played the second one, and I'm like, this is like every other game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like.
like
I
a-
stayed
But
away
you
from
guys are
Uncharted.
like PlayStation guys or whatever.
I just stay away
Or
from
Keith
Uncharted.
is.
That's when you just play The Last of Us and Bloodborne, and that's all
Last
you
of
ever
Us
need.
is
was
such a
good.
good game.
It is. It is.
They didn't
Last
show
of
anything
Us,
about Last of
yeah.
Us 2, surprisingly. They did show Days Gone, which is basically a different Last of Us. It's just
Yeah.
a zombie game in like the same exact setting, only it's open world kind of thing.
One thing that I'm kind of excited about that they released at E3 is they're kind of making like a olden days Metroid game for the Nintendo Switch.
Like 2D platformer?
Uh-huh. Except it's Metroid, and like
That would work.
Samus like has like an uppercut thing to where like when she uppercuts the enemy, it makes them exposed to where you can shoot them and stuff. So you're not just like jumping around shooting them. You could like run up and bash them and then shoot them and stuff.
That's weird. So kind of like the Smash Bros. Version
Yeah, they're
of it.
literally like Smash Bros. Has put such a big influence on what Samus is actually turning
What else
into.
was that?
That's
Like,
crazy.
there's-
I played the Game Boy Metroid Fusion. I think I beat that game. That was a good one. I never really got into the earlier ones, but that was the same exact
and
style.
they're releasing
everything.
Metroid Prime 4, which everybody says that Metroid Prime is like the best Metroid games.
I loved the first one. Never got into the second one.
But I don't know. I never really liked them very much.
it's a
I always
spooter,
found them
bro. There's a
very-
spooter on the table. It's a baby spooter. Eat it, Steve. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it.
Hatch somewhere.
I'm gonna eat the spooter. Ah, you gotta squish it. I was gonna
Spiders
eat it.
hatch somewhere. I've been seeing those little bastards all over the place.
I mean, and like another thing that they're doing is, which kind of connects with what I was saying earlier, was they're releasing DLC for Breath of the Wild as well.
Are they?
Yeah, they're releasing.
They
like,
announced what it was, or they just said DLC coming soon.
well, I didn't look into it too much, but what I did see was like you put the Master Sword back into the pedestal or something like that.
Because
then-
that's where it belongs. Otherwise, it'll break it.
yeah, right, or lose its freaking sharpness or something. But,
And you'll get a bunch of seeds.
well, apparently what happens is when you put it back in there, it puts you into like this thing called the Master Trial or something like that. I'm not.
Where you get an
100% sure.
unbreakable Master Sword, maybe at the end, huh?
I don't know.
That'd be dope.
But I will tell you that
I'd go back and start playing it again.
in Breath of the Wild, after you get every single shrine, you're always missing either 2 hearts or 2 sections of the stamina gauge. So it opens up more opportunities for them to put more shrines in and stuff in this DLC.
Okay.
What else? What other games? I don't know. Nothing
If you guys
exciting, really. They're
Okay.
really this. I feel like this E3 was a big letdown.
Really?
There's just a lot of rehashing stuff.
Not for me. There was only one
Apparently
thing I was
Ubisoft's
looking for.
was a really good press conference, but it was mostly about Assassin's Creed. I don't care. Assassin's Creed Origins
Oh,
is a new
yeah.
one. Yeah, they're
They've
going
kinda
back
beaten
to
Assassin's Creed.
I've
lost track of how many Assassin's Creeds there
Yeah,
are.
they've kind of started beating it to death, and the storyline is so long and so just deep to where you have to stick along with it, or else it kind of
It killed me when they made 2 extra sequels on top of 2, Assassin's Creed 2. Instead of going to Assassin's Creed 3, they're like, we're going to beat the hell out of this one assassin
we're gonna put,
right
like,
here. Until he's 85 years old and dies.
It's like,
Like-
nobody lives
Like,
that
no,
long back
move
then.
on, man.
In
That's
Europe,
a
nobody
really
lived
big
that
problem
long
with
back then.
almost all of the video
that's
gaming
bad.
companies
Thank you.
nowadays, where it's just kind of like they don't know when to stop and continue on with another idea. Like, everybody wants to see a sequel to something, but it doesn't always have to happen.
That's why you get a lot of people leaning towards indie companies these days, because a lot of indie companies are started up by gamers rather than businessmen.
That want to
Stuff
get
like
a
that.
bunch of money out of it.
Yeah, that
Makes
aren't
sense.
aren't run by a corporation who are like, no, you have to do this because this is what logistics said we need to do. So I think it's about time to play our little game. I made a game for us to do.
I'm a little bit worried.
We are.
I'm also
You
worried.
should be. You should be. It's
we're all
pretty
worried-
interesting.
This is my first time here, and I don't know of any other games.
We're gonna call this game legit or bullshit.
Oh, boy.
Basically,
I know what this is.
Basically, I have 10 facts or not facts.
Okay,
They're 10 facts or not facts.
dude.
I made up some of these.
My
Some of these are
frequent
actually
Snapple
true.
drinking is gonna help out here.
All right, cool. I made up some of these. I don't even know how many of them I made up. There's 10 facts, and you guys got to guess whether it's true or false, or legit or bullshit.
Yeah, better.
Legit or
Words for
bullshit.
it.
Yep.
is there like a winner, or is it- or is it-
keep your score. Keep
Okay.
your own personal score, whether you get it right. So we'll start off. I'll read them. Okay. It would take the world's fastest rocket approximately 12,438,000 years to reach the sun if continuously traveling at top speed. Is it legit or bullshit?
How many
Yeah,
years?
how long?
12,438,000 years.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
You're gonna call it bullshit?
Yeah.
Alright, that is bullshit.
It takes
Okay.
way less time.
Yeah.
Way less time. You really think so? The world's fastest rocket.
Yeah, I think it takes
Yeah.
way less time because
I know, we'll have to look it up.
Much slower rockets could get to Mars in a couple months.
We are like 100 times further from the sun than we are
Yeah,
from
but
Mars.
that's months.
Mars is the closest
And
planet.
That's
to us.
months. That was 100,000s of years.
That's millions of years. Yeah, okay.
It would take like top.
All right. You guys all got that one.
Probably more than a
next one.
lifespan.
Okay, next one. Sonic the Hedgehog's full name is actually Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog.
Bullshit.
I would go with him on this. He knows his Sonic.
You know it's a Sonic? Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit too because I think I know his name. And it's not that. It's something dumb, but
That is actually true.
Are you
For
serious?
That
what,
is
for
legit.
what source? 'Cause
That
I've
is
heard
legit.
I've heard him at a different.
Now
name.
these
Yeah, from what source?
these
What was that from? Like
Could-
Sonic X or something like?
I'm not 100% on these, but I did get them from
from the
what I
same-
thought was a reputable source.
Wikipedia.
So
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, not Wikipedia, not Wikipedia. All right, so next one. Monster trucks were originally invented for loggers to tow underwater logs out of the swamps of Louisiana without getting stuck in the mud. Legit or bullshit?
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Nobody likes Louisiana.
I could see it.
I could see
I could
it,
see
but
people doing that. I could see
but I
some
don't-
hillbillies like creating big, giant, massive trucks to pull logs.
I still want to call bullshit on it.
Yeah. Why, Keith?
Just something.
What's your
seems off.
reasoning?
Something seems off. Like
Something seems off.
There's a few things that seem off.
Like
but
maybe too many details or something like that.
Well, no, some of these are real long, so don't go off of that.
no, like there's logical details that just don't fit to me. I mean,
Yeah.
there are some unlogical things, so I might be wrong, but I'm gonna go with.
All right, you
bullshit.
ready? It's bullshit.
Yeah. by your facial expressions, I was kind of.
Well, I'm smiling
get it
all of them.
Hide your face.
All right.
Put on a burqa.
If I cover my mouth, I can't say them. All right, next one. Tom Cruise began his acting career playing a paperboy in the 1970s TV show One Day at a Time.
Oh, I looked him up on IMDb in the last 6 months. I should know this.
Is it legit or bullshit?
One
We'll
day
go
at a time.
legit.
What year?
19. It doesn't say year. It says 1970s TV show.
That's a year. 1970s.
70s.
on
That's
TV?
a
Sure.
decade.
I'm gonna call legit on that because I don't know nothing about Tom Cruise. It sounds right.
Yeah, I'm kind of like on. Using
Let's see.
logic.
If you think he's in his 50s, then he would have been born in the 60s.
He is in his 50s.
Okay.
Then that
So-
means that he would be in his teenage years.
Bunch
in
of
the
teenagers.
60s.
Steve,
Maybe-
waiting
Yeah.
on you.
Wait, did Keith go?
Yeah, Keith said
What'd you say?
legit.
That's it.
Both
Josh
said
said legit. What do you say?
I'm gonna say legit as well.
That is bullshit. I made that up.
I mean, it's based off assumptions, because I know. I think he started in.
I completely just freeballed that. I just thought of it in my head. I didn't look up anything.
Well, I'm gonna look it up, and you were gonna be right. So
That would have been crazy as hell. I would have been a genius. All right, look it up later. We're gonna move on to the next one. All right, you can still listen. Daddy longlegs have penises, which technically makes them not a spider.
Oh, I know they're not a spider.
They're not a
Yeah.
spooter.
I don't know if they have a penis though.
Yeah, I don't believe in the penis part. I'm gonna go bullshit.
Call them bullshit. What about you, Josh?
Sure, I'll call bullshit as well.
What if it's like a trick question?
Steve?
Because they're not spiders, I know that. But I think it's just because they don't have 8 legs. I think
they're like 4
they're
legs,
6 legs.
4 or 6, yeah, something like that. They're weird.
I'm gonna say it's true.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna call legit on that. Now that I think about it, is it legit?
Keith, you sticking with bullshit?
I'm sticking with bullshit.
That is legit.
Aha!
Apparently, daddy long legs have penises. All right, here you go.
I knew I related to them in some way.
Next one. Snails have 14,000 teeth, and some can even kill you.
Snails
Yeah.
underwater.
What? That question's weird.
Legit.
Say it again?
Snails have 14,000 teeth, and some can even kill you.
Like some snails or some other specific teeth?
I'm assuming some snail.
Legit. It's legit. I mean, there's so much stuff under the water that you just don't know, and there's sea snails. So I could definitely see it being a thing.
legit.
Calling legit. What about you, Steve?
I don't like the phrasing of the question, but I'll say legit.
That is legit. Them snails can kill your
I
ass.
should have said some snails.
Oh,
Not all.
Okay, I just copy and pasted, man. All right. In the original script of the Terminator movie, the Terminator was actually a robot dog.
Oh, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
What about you, Keith?
I don't know the scripting. I'm gonna have to just call one.
That'd be kind of cool, though.
Bullshit.
If the Terminator was a
Bullshit.
robot dog. Legit.
Legit? You're like, because I want it to be.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I made that shit up.
I want to see a robot dog Terminator.
Are you guys keeping score?
No.
No?
4?
Steve,
I
come
know
on
they got
now.
one. I think he's.
All right. In 2014, a missing woman on a vacation in Iceland was found when it was discovered that she was in the search party looking for herself. Legit or bullshit?
Sounds dumb enough to be true.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's legit.
Legit.
That is legit as shit. All right.
That's one dumbass chick.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, I gotta go find me sometime.
All right. So
Dude,
moving on.
eventually.
Before the term bloopers was coined, outtakes were called boners.
Bullshit.
I don't know. I feel like you made that up. I feel like they were just called outtakes.
So you call them bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Bullshit? That is legit.
Yeah, I
Really?
felt like it was gonna be, but
I can totally see it.
Like-
Boners, yeah.
But
Well, because
I don't
you
trust
got to
the
think about the
sources.
times. You got to think about the times before people used boner as a slang word, like you made a boner or whatever, like bonehead boner.
made
You know?
a boner.
Yeah.
boner.
All right, and then number
Just
10.
boners.
This is
No.
the
Great
last
boner.
one
Remember
here.
that one boner? Yeah, I remember that.
As of 1998, over 50% of Iceland's population believed in the existence of elves.
True.
Keith?
Would you say that, please?
It's legit.
As of 1998, over 50% of Iceland's population believed in the existence of elves.
It's legit.
I feel like it's bullshit. I feel like before they did, but as of 1998, they don't now.
So before 1998, like 1997, they did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna legit.
What'd
I
you
called
say?
legit.
That's legit.
Lies.
And the
Nice.
only reason
Cricket
that I
facts?
thought that is because you were already talking about Iceland, so I feel like you just know a bunch of random facts about Iceland now.
No, I don't know. Those are just random.
Better be some
Happened to
bullshit
pick,
fact about Iceland in
happened
here
to pick
somewhere.
two that were about Iceland, I guess. And Steve, quit trying to call the facts out as not being facts, because then it ruins the fun.
I don't trust your sources.
Well, that's not the point of the game.
Yeah.
The game is to say legit or bullshit.
I'm gonna make a new game called I Don't Trust Your Sources.
All right, we will feature it in next week's episode. I Don't Trust Your Sources, hosted by Steve.
Give me
All right,
a fact, I'll
that
tell you
was
if I
all the
trust it or not.
questions. So let's get this thing closed out with some stories. Josh, did you think of a story?
I don't know.
I got 6. Right.
You have 6 stories,
No.
Keith?
He got 6 questions.
Oh, you got 6 right.
How many were there
10.
in all? Okay.
So you got
D.
60%. You got a D, Keith. How many did you
Great.
get right?
Like 4.
Like 4, Steve? What
I
about
think I
you?
got 4 as well.
4? Yeah.
Yes.
Steve's
still
thinking
win.
too many.
I gotta know
too
that
much.
Sonic
Are
the
you
Hedgehog
really
name
checking
off.
to see if they're right?
No.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing then?
I'm creating an app called I Don't Trust Your Facts so we can play next time.
I don't trust your sources is what you called it.
Sources, facts.
All right.
I don't know. Mine is like the thing that I was thinking of. It's kind of less of a story and more just kind of like a continuous event that I would go to every weekend. And Keith knows what this is. So me and Keith, when I was like 12, I think it is. So about 5 years ago, me and Keith every single weekend, every single Saturday for 4 hours, we would go to this thing called Amped Guard. And
Amped Guard?
Amped Guard. AMTGARD. Amped Guard.
Okay.
And what this Amped Guard thing is, it still goes on, but it's like a lot less of what it used to be.
Yeah. Changed too much.
It's like, it was literally LARPing. And we would go like, and they do this everywhere. Like, all over the United States, they have Amped Guard. They have it in every single city
It is
around here.
Is quote unquote the largest standing free army.
Free
Oh,
army.
God.
Quote
We're
unquote.
getting super nerd on it.
Yeah.
We are the free army.
I play D&D every week. I will never lie.
We're Dumbledore's army.
See, but like me and Keith, and I'm not sure, maybe you even did this with Keith when he was when you guys were younger. Like we'd always take sticks and stuff like that and like sword fight each other just whenever. We'd walk out into the freaking woods and rip sticks off trees and just start beating each other with it, pretty much.
I remember when
See, we did that crap when you were way too young to remember any of that. I think Keith started doing it with you because all the rest of us stopped doing it. And he had no one else to do it.
Most likely, but I loved it because it would actually give me a chance to like whoop my brother's ass because they were being freaking.
Which one?
Both of them, Brandon and Keith.
he mostly had something out for Brandon because Brandon was a little ass.
Brandon, my
Big
brother,
ass.
would like.
But anyways,
sit on me and stuff like that, and he's like 307.
See, I think
pounds.
Brandon did all that stuff because Jimmy would do that stuff to him.
And then he'd do that to me, but I don't think that he realized that he was freaking 4 times my size.
Yeah, he was also 4 times the size as Jimmy.
And Jimmy's still sitting on him. But yeah, well anyways, so like when I found Amguard, I loved it because it was people that I'd be able to spar with more. That was more than just Keith and Brandon. So every weekend I would go to this place and like spar with people, and I got so deep into it to like memorizing spells, like literally phrases that are literally like
some spell
30,
someone made
like
up.
30 lines long of a phrase just to like heal somebody. Like
Man, that's like dangerous mindset getting into it.
what do you mean?
Like if you're getting in depth with it that much, that's like
I loved it.
I'm
Okay,
not
but then-
doubting that you enjoyed it.
but
That's
actors
like,
do it too.
I think that
It's
just
not
depends
the
on the
mindset, it's the
individual.
person.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's the same thing, like he said, with actors. Like Heath Ledger would get so into characters.
Okay,
that he
what I
killed
mean
himself.
is you get
And then
you
there's-
get some people who take it way too seriously
Yeah.
and they let it control their lives and everything.
Yeah, but
We're
it
still
just depends on
those
the
perfectly
those
individual.
sort of
Close to
dangerous
normal.
levels is what I mean.
Close to normal.
Close to normal.
I'm close to normal, but
No,
only close.
One thing I remember about things like that is at one point, hanging out over at your place, your mom told me to tell Keith to relax on it at some point because she was being a bad influence on Brandon.
And then it
And
eventually
and
went
when
down
I
to
said
me.
that to Keith was about twice my size then because I'm like 3-4 years younger than Keith.
That's
When
funny.
I said that to Keith, he lost his shit. And he's like on the ground trying to choke me and shit. Has me on the ground.
Damn, he's like, no, I need to keep sword fighting.
Because I told him, I said, Keith, you need to relax on that. You're being a bad influence for the younger kids. And he lost his shit. And got after me, but I think your mom kind of like got upset at him for that one. That one was pretty funny.
Like for all you listeners, so I'm Josh, and these two, Brad and Keith, were friends of my brother that is like 10 years older than I am.
Is he 10 years older? Yeah, because
Wow.
when we hung out, we were 13, 14, going on 15 and stuff. You were 2, 3, and 4 years old. You know, and you would walk around and say very few words. You called me dude.
Yeah.
That was my name. That was my name from then on in that place was Dude. I was called Dude. And you gave me that nickname. But another story I remember about you was, I think it was either your 3rd or 4th birthday, and your mom had taken you guys to the store, you and Jimmy or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember this, but it was your birthday, and that day you were all excited to have cake, but as you were coming home, I guess you fell asleep in the car.
Oh, yes.
And your mom mentioned, you know what I'm talking about. Your mom mentioned to Jimmy, hey, take him out and put him in the crib. Or put him in his bed. You weren't in a crib then.
Yeah.
You should put him in his bed. But I guess he didn't hear her or forgot. And so at some point, Keith found out that you were still in your car seat in the car several hours later.
Like pouring sweat.
Like pouring sweat and crying, like hysterical or whatever. Because I imagine it was terrifying. You were asleep and you woke up and you were alone in the car.
Strapped in a seat and nobody was able to hear you and everybody's out in the yard having fun.
I was there.
For my birthday.
I was in the same room as your for your birthday. You got a lot of cake after that. But I was in the room with your brother when your mom came in after she found out, and she whooped his ass.
I guess I actually have more of a story then to go after that. Now that I was thinking about what you were saying, and I remember one time when I was younger, and I have
do you actually remember that?
My mom tells me a lot of
your
things.
mom told you
No,
that?
there's no way that I would be able to remember
You don't remember that?
No.
Because I think it was like your 4th birthday or whatever. Your 4th birthday, yeah. But
I have one for winter.
One time when I was younger, I remember, and I actually have a scar from it right now. I was going with my stepdad to like a fast food store, like Wendy's or something like that, and he had his hand sitting on my head, just sitting on my head, and it bugged the hell out of me. It bugged the living fuck out of me with his hand just sitting there on my head because he big old hands sitting plopped on my head the entire time. And no matter what I did, no matter how much I moved my head around, he would not take that goddamn hand off of my head. So my thought...
Yeah, he's a jokester.
He was sitting there...
Sometimes.
Yeah, he was sitting there like ordering food and stuff. And his hand is just on my head. And I'm just like, motherfucker, get your hand off my head. So my thought process as like 6 or something like that was, okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull my head back, and I'm going to throw it forward and pull it back really fast, and his hand's going to slip off my head, and his hand is going to be off my head then. Well, what I did was pulled my head back and slammed it forward directly into the corner of a freaking, of the, like...
The dash?
Yeah, well... in the fast food place.
Oh, I got you.
So like that super hard material of where
you weren't in the car. You were in the
of
restaurant.
where they keep the cash register, and I just slammed my forehead into it. And he like calls my mom on his way home, and he's just like, "Dude, like your son just busted his head open, bleeding because I don't even know why.
I don't even know why." I was trying to hold his head still, but he lost
and just
lost
smashed
control.
his head open, bleeding on the freaking Wendy's counter, man. Like, your kid is nuts.
Sometimes you forget about the obstacles that are around you when you try to make a sweet maneuver or something like that.
Especially then, you don't think, maybe there's a counter, like,
oh man,
foot
with
away
a nice
from my
sharp
head.
corner and stuff. You like literally split your head open or whatever. Damn, that's
I have
crazy.
a scar on my forehead from it.
That is wild, man.
Speaking of scars,
From the
and
mic.
I
Amcar,
was gonna say, scar, brother. From the
help
mic.
me. I think it was me and you. I had I made a trash can lid into a shield,
I don't know, kid.
and you
did a
had
lot of shit
all
like
of his
that.
stories
Man.
start with something
you
like that.
you made this kind of flail-like thing,
Except it's a hook.
and the shield came like to there on my arm,
Where's
And you
there?
swung-
The listeners
Got
don't know
about
where
to
we're
like the end
about
of the
mid-elbow?
shoulder arm, where it
Right
starts
before
to
the elbow, right where the elbow would still be exposed.
Okay.
And I don't know how.
So
we got
your
into-
shield sucked ass, Keith.
It was a parry shield.
I actually
obviously.
know
Hey,
that
it's,
exact
you know,
shield
kid.
that he's talking about too.
Oh, you still have it, Keith, huh?
Well,
No.
I recognize it.
I have a scar from it still.
You know what? Was that the shield where you took a metal trash can lid and put like kind of some fiberboard in the front of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I remember that. But I don't think that was me that hit you. I don't know. There was a lot of kids swinging sticks around there.
It was either you or Kyle, Crispy Kyle, or
This guy,
Kyle.
Crispy Kyle. Call him Crispy Kyle. That's still fucked up, man.
Oh my god.
Maybe you should tell me that story. I guess I don't really.
Oh, you
know
didn't
the
know
whole
about when
background
Kyle
to it.
got lit on fire
Okay.
over
Is
at
there-
your house?
because
Kind of spoiled
Jimmy-
the ending of it there, you know. But
Well, no, 'cause-
because Jimmy and them were.
I'm sure
Tell the story,
traumatized your brother seeing his buddy like burning to death. It's probably why you never heard about it. But we used to be dumbasses and try huffing gas. You know,
Guys,
which
I
I
would say
swear
that.
is why I have a lot of stomach problems. But huffing gas and Kyle.
You guys are a bunch of assholes when you were younger, huh?
Yeah, so Kyle was back there huffing gas with Jose or whatever.
Yep.
And Kyle, I guess, this is just what I heard. Kyle blacked out while huffing gas, and he was sitting there with the gas can or whatever. And I think they took the gas can away from him, but he was like covered in fumes and probably spilt some on himself. And dumbass dude Jose goes, I wonder what would happen if we bring a lighter up to him. So he lights the lighter and brings up to Kyle, and Kyle just bursts into flames.
Just ignites.
And he's still blacked out, you know, from the huff and gas, but he's up and he's running around screaming.
Like a chicken.
So
with
your
his head
brother
off.
like tackled him and put him out, but all that Kyle remembers is waking up in intense pain with burns all over him, like on your guys' couch.
Jeez.
And so he had scars of burns for days, and he had to put like ointment on it and stuff like that.
Because Jose
Whenever they
lit him
Lit him on fire. Yeah, like
Whenever you
full
guys-
on Dude Inferno.
Whenever you guys would say something about puffing gas, I'd be like trying to go the other way. I'm out. I don't want nothing to do with this
and
shit.
then here's Keith calling him Crispy Kyle. Like, what the hell?
Hey, no,
I don't
that
have nothing
was
to do with that,
that
but I'll
was
get on the
those
rude
two
joke.
came up with that name, and that's like
That's messed
you know how
up,
many,
man.
That's-
You know how many people I know?
I don't
named
know
Kyle?
him, so that's the only way
That's-
that I know how to refer to that
that's
guy
like-
is
that's-
Crispy Kyle.
that's like-
Jimmy
if
came
somebody-
up with it. Jimmy.
That's like if somebody like cracked their head open. That's like if we called you head split Josh.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, man? It's so random.
I don't know him too well as the other name. I keep on forgetting the one you got.
Your mom, Josh, called him Andy because that was
Oh,
his middle
yeah,
name.
that was Andy, but I don't know.
Yeah, she
That'd be a
kinda
weird
does
one for everybody to all the.
Better than Keith's.
Oh
nickname,
my
Queef.
goodness! I haven't heard about that in so friggin' long.
What?
Andy Milanakis.
Andy
Still does
Milanakis?
shit on the internet.
You know what he's doing right now? He's doing the IRL Twitch streams.
Yeah.
He runs around with his phone on him and
He does funny
Really?
shit.
yeah. Look it up, man. I'm following him. The first time I saw him, he was in a cab talking to the guy, and
Just the weirdest.
And the
he
guy
like, just fucks with people like
Yeah,
he did on
yeah.
a show, only just on Twitch now.
yeah, and the guy's asking him like how old are you? He's like, I'm old enough, man.
Because he looks like he's
He
12.
still looks like
and
he's 12, yeah.
30.
What about you, Steve? Did you and Matt ever swing sticks around at each other?
No,
You never did any sort of
Crack
LARPing
open their
stuff?
knuckles.
No, we were never big into that, like hitting each other with sticks kind of thing. We were more, I don't know.
We usually
By the
rode
time we were
bike-
hanging out, we were just like, yeah, we'd go ride around, scooters, bikes, all that jazz.
Scooters.
Oh,
Oh, man,
scooter stories.
scooters.
So, best scooter story. So, you know that over by where the college is, you know how they got some crazy ass high hills?
Oh
that go up
yeah,
and down?
I love
We
riding
always
my bike
used to
through
take our
those hills.
scooters up there. There's one time we're just mobbing down a hill, like way faster than we should have been. Of course, we didn't wear helmets to do that stuff. And Matt's like 20 feet ahead of me.
Who wears a helmet while riding a scooter?
I know. We're going down this hill so fucking fast, and Matt, I just hear, oh no, there's dirt, and I just look, and the sidewalk's just covered in a thin layer of
because that'll
dirt.
make the scooter come out
Yeah,
from under
and
you.
in front of me,
you're going
I
perfectly
see
straight.
Matt do that. He's perfectly sideways, and then he hits the cement, and he like saves it, and I'm
He's
like, oh,
drifting?
it's my turn now. And then I did the same thing. Somehow we were both perfectly fine. We just drifted the scooter for like 30 feet, going probably like 30 miles an hour down this hill, and we both nailed it perfectly.
Scooter drifters!
And then, of course, right after that, we have to stop and burn holes in our shoes because the metal on the rubber wheel would get so hot that it would literally melt our shoes.
Yeah, no, you'd melt like flat spots in the wheels.
And our shoes, too. That's how hot it got.
Yeah, those scooters were
Ridiculous.
crazy. I remember when they
Things
first
are
came
so
out,
dangerous.
man.
I love those things.
Like, when they first started making those Razor scooters and everything, they were all the rage. Everyone was about those,
when a
man.
scooter came out.
I remember when a scooter came out.
Making it sound like we're that old. We're
Not the original scooters. I'm talking about the Razor scooters, man. I think I was in elementary school.
It's like the fidget spinners, man. Razor scooters.
But those
I
Razor
hope the
scooters
fidget
were
spinner
cool.
doesn't come as big as a friggin' scooter.
Hell no,
What
man.
are you on about?
You can compare a Razor scooter to a fidget spinner, man.
Everybody loves a fidget spinner. Man.
It's
Have you seen them sweet fidget spinner trick videos on Facebook?
Yeah, where people pull out actual switchblades and they're like, "This is the way to do it."
wow.
But no, Razor.
This is what we do for
Razor
fun.
scooters, man. We used to. I used to like collect parts from them and put together my own and like spray paint them. I had this really cool gold one that was put together from like 3 different scooters and like handlebars from one. Like
He's got the
front-
Mad Max
front
Razor
bar
scooter.
and
Yeah.
wheel in the back end. And that was cool, man. That thing
Paul,
would
gun
last. But I'd ride those everywhere because they were a little bit quicker than walking.
Just a little bit.
And you'd be able to just fold it up.
Well, I never folded them because that was just a pain in the ass half the time.
Yeah,
the folding
ones always
mechanism
sucked.
didn't work.
You want to get the non-foldy ones.
But you'd always like push with one leg, and you get tired
Or
with the
switch to
one
your
that's
other
holding
leg.
it,
And
and
you
you
just
jump
start
to the other
pushing with
leg,
the other
and you push with the other leg.
I think that's one reason why I didn't like the scooters is you guys would always have the foldy ones and they'd always like
No, they'd all
go-
fold up. You just never
No, there were
fold them
some
up.
that weren't foldy. They were the professional ones.
You just never fold them up because it was stupid.
It was a bitch and a half
It
to
was
get
a
unfolded.
bitch to. Sometimes a bitch to fold them, and most of the time it was a bitch to unfold them. But they'd also the thing that held the handlebars up
Yeah.
would eventually go
It
all
would
the way
always,
down.
Always,
It would
That
all
was
the way
problem
down. It would
to
go
every
all the way
single scooter.
down.
You gotta
Yeah.
pull it all the way back
You
up.
gotta
and
pull
just
it all
hold
the way
there.
up and like get
I was
the
like-
whole clip.
There was always that kid in the neighborhood that would ride them as low as
Yeah,
possible,
as
and
low
he's
as
like fucking
possible.
5 feet tall. And you're like, "What are you doing, dude? You look like an idiot." He's just like hunched over, just
The
like,
scooter handlebars are a foot and a half off the ground.
He's like, "I can drive with my kneecaps."
Yeah.
I used to do that.
I know. That was you.
cool.
That's who I'm talking about.
Oh, you bitch!
Just called you out.
Man, those things were
When I was
awesome.
the kid, I stuck with my bike, my mountain bike.
I know Keith loved his mountain bike until the back wheels fall off.
You got any stories about your bike, Keith?
He's
Oh,
told
don't-
some
How about your
but,
bike collapsing?
That was last week, right? Or
no, that was the week before.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that last episode, I believe, right?
No. It was the episode before.
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
It was episode 6.
Really?
But anyways,
I don't remember hearing that.
anybody got
Jeff
any
will talk more about
other
that story.
sweet stories before we close this bitch out?
I have more scooter.
You do.
stories.
You got
Oh.
more scooter stories.
The
huh?
same hill one time I tried to ride
When
down
you were-
rollerblades.
Hey,
rollerblades.
Rollerblades with no stop.
him when we sold the when we were snowboarding one time, and like
Snowboarding.
nobody was paying attention to him, and something happened where he ended up.
Dude,
We were-
it's amazing. You
I
were
have
still
no idea what
alive.
he's talking about. I haven't done that much.
I don't know what was happening.
It was all done before you can remember.
Yeah.
It
Too much head trauma. I can't remember.
well, this was hand trauma.
Hand trauma.
Okay, go on then.
That sounds dirty, Keith.
Yeah.
But keep going. Don't stop.
Anyways,
Don't stop with the hand trauma.
we were snowboarding, skiing, and all that. We're having fun.
You're talking
He's
about
an
getting-
actual
he's
place,
getting-
or did you just go to the
right?
mountains?
Right behind it?
No, I'm talking about with mom.
Oh.
And Jimmy.
Oh, okay, go on then.
We were all having fun. He started getting it started getting dark and cold.
I was actually talking about this. Are you talking about the supernatural stuff? Okay, I'll explain this then. Yeah?
Do you remember what happened to your hands?
Okay, maybe he knows something that I don't.
All right, you start, and then he can jump in.
Okay, so generally what it was we were all on like a skiing trip, and then my mom, she always has like a weird thing where she's picking up on like supernatural auras.
Okay,
and
I
stuff
think
like
I was
that.
there.
Yeah, you think you were there? You know what we're talking about?
You know what
No, it all sounds familiar being up there.
Well, okay, so
skiing,
apparently
but-
we were up at Mount Rose and just like snowboarding, skiing, sledding, so on and so forth, having fun in the snow.
Not on an actual resort, just kind of.
No, just
some,
the middle of the
some
hills.
hill. Yeah.
and
Joe had his knee boogie board or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, anyways, what was happening is like the entire time my mom was like talking about how she hears like an older man and a younger like boy or something like that, and she just kept on hearing this voice. And at some point, Jimmy threw a snowball over this hill where my mom was talking about it, just tripping out the entire time, and the snowball came flying back at them from throwing it over the hill. And freaking like my mom was tripping out, and like it was starting to get dark, and like they started leaving. Is this when my hands thing started happening? I don't know what you're talking about.
Somehow you fell in a fire with your hands or something.
Oh shit!
And
What?
we tried putting your hands in ice or something, and
Were his hands red or something?
he basically mom got pissed off because she's like, "That's too cold. That's because if it's too cold, if you put something in your skin in ice."
There's no fire there.
I fell in a fire in the middle of the snow.
I don't remember
There was
how.
no-
There's something like his hands ended up in something hot and burning.
Okay, so
And
you guys
we-
put my hands in the snow or something?
Okay. His hands were probably too cold, and if people were putting his hands in the snow because they were red, that's a little the opposite way.
Yeah.
You should do it.
No, there was something.
I don't
to do with
remember
some
that
heat.
part, but I remember.
But anyways, what I was getting at, so like, we were so like we started packing up and we were leaving. My mom was going crazy. She's like, "Are you guys serious? You don't freaking see these guys?" And we were like about to leave and stuff. And she's like, "You really do not see them right there." And everybody's like, "No, we have no idea what you're talking about." So she took her digital camera and she just like snapped like 10 pictures super quick. Snap. Well, apparently like the next day when they uploaded those pictures from her camera onto the computer, you can see like full on figures of these supernatural like beings on these pictures that she was taking. That's exactly what she was seeing that were not there at that time. And like within 24 hours of her uploading those pictures onto her computer, the computer's hard drive like shut down and crashed.
Yeah, that's all I heard of it. Was all I heard of it was that the pictures were gone.
Apparently the computer crashed within 24 hours and like wiped the hard drive. Yeah, like crazy shit came up out of that.
But mom was also not the greatest with computers back then.
Yeah, that's true. Could have been her, honestly.
She
look at these
didn't like
pictures. Where
computers
should I hide
because of
them?
that and
Windows
because of other
32?
issues too.
Win 32? Oh,
When
no,
32, there we go.
And then you and Robin, I think, also had a couple things where you'd like fucking mess with the computer or
I
something.
mean, when I was young, I would always go on the computer and like go on websites and stuff, but I don't know very much.
Viruses.com.
Viruses.com.
Nickelodeon.com.
Everyone's favorite.
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Viruses.com. Dude, I'm gonna register that.
If it wasn't taken up by Jimmy or somebody playing Diablo.
Yeah, I was right when the Diablo phase over at my house.
That never
I
ended.
feel
Get
like
outta here.
I feel like the people that are consistently listening to this are like creating a small timeline of your
Yeah.
guys'
And
lives.
it's nothing but of Diablo.
Diablo,
Yeah,
yeah.
Diablo and
20
just
years.
doing random stupid shit as you guys are freaking teenagers.
That's
It's like
right.
yeah.
man.
Diablo 2's a
and now
relax.
you guys are adding in
We have to
another
tell
like
the world
small
because
story.
it's going to be
into it.
ending in 5 years now.
Oh jeez.
Oh, God.
Nice.
Oh jeez.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can wrap it. All right, thank you for listening. If this is your first episode, our show is available on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and also YouTube, where we like to upload some really awesome gaming videos. So please go subscribe to those. You can follow us on Twitter at FoolsBanter or on Facebook by going to facebook.com/FoolsBanter. Please leave us some reviews or send us some feedback that can help us improve the show. Any questions or comments are welcome. And as always, clean your butts, as usual.
Okay, is there some sort of moral that we can take out of the stories from today? Pay attention to your surroundings when you're trying to make sneaky maneuvers, or I don't know.
When you're trying to make awesome maneuvers, make sure there's no sharp counters in front of your face.
Don't split open your forehead. It's not nice.
Anything else? Any other final words?
Go out now, buy
a Razor scooter.
Buy a Razor scooter and Skyrim on a toaster.
And learn how to drift.
Buy a Razor scooter, buy a bunch of fidget spinners, and run over all the fidget spinners with the Razor scooter.
No, you gotta just run really close to them and just hit them all till they spin.
Attach fidget spinners to the Razor scooter wheels like spinners.
I enjoy.
Somebody's gonna do that. That's already been done.
That's sweet. They are just skateboard bearings.
Honestly,
that's exactly what they are.
That's what I thought when it first
I enjoyed being here. This was fun for me.
Yeah, cool, man. Thank you for hitting us up.
I'm definitely going to try to do this again sometime soon.
We'll have you here again. It was cool, man. We enjoyed having you here. We'll get you here with Edwin next time so that we can have the 5 of us doing some chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be sweet. All right, cool. Adios, everyone.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.